let's start with the Jesse Marsch topic. Uh, Centered with this question, would Leeds have stayed up if Jesse Marsch stayed instead of when he got sacked, and they had to rely on other managers who also got sacked, and then Big Sam came in and got them relegated? Would Jesse
So
Marsch
rude.
have kept Leeds United up? I need an answer. I'll just give me your answer first.
I want to say yes. I want to
Mhm.
say yes purely because of the fact that he was only in there for I think 292 days, something like that.
Hmm.
Someone please fact check me.
Damn.
I saw
I
someone
came
fact
out of
check
nowhere
me.
with that number.
I
That's
was
crazy.
like, damn, okay.
No, I saw an article. That's why I saw an article. I think
I
it was
was gonna say
200 something
he
days.
came out of nowhere with that number and then to fact check me. Like you gotta
Fact
know
check
if you're
me.
spitting out numbers like that.
Fact check me. It's around that number, and I feel like it's hard for players to really like believe, because in that type of level, it's all about self belief, and if you don't believe in what your manager is putting out on the table, it's not gonna do well, especially if you have new managers constantly, like Leeds did. Not like new, like every single month. You know what I mean? Like you're changing
Right.
managers, your new tactics, new players, in the sense of like certain players are now dropped from the squad that was playing. The self confidence drops. So I feel like if he stayed, I feel like they would have been better off. I mean, I don't know if they. I'm gonna stick with my original answer. I don't think they would have been relegated, but I think they would have been on a bottom half finish. But I think they would
Yeah.
have pulled it out. I think Big Sam also, he used to be a West Ham manager, but I think it was a bit unfair. He only had like 4 games to do something, 4 or 5. So I feel like that's a bit unfair for him. But they tried. They gave it their all. I mean, their last few games were a bit tough. I mean, Tottenham home, and then West Ham before that, and then a few other games that are a bit more difficult to actually complete. But I think they gave it their all. I mean, unfortunate for a lot of players, but I think they'll be back up. Hopefully, I think they
I
have the
think they
squad
will.
to do it.
I think they will.
But yeah, I think Leeds owners should have been a bit more patient. I feel like that goes with a lot of the teams that are been like we're in the bottom half that were relegated. Should have been more patient with their managers that were already there instead of swapping them immediately. Because as you can see, West Ham kept Moyes, of course, didn't get relegated. Nottingham Forest kept their manager, didn't get relegated. So I feel like the teams that did get relegated did swap their managers, and some of them multiple. So I feel like it's always best to stick with what you got, because the players already go into the season knowing what to do, and switching it all up sometimes is good. But in these 3 cases specifically, Leeds, it just wasn't good enough. It wasn't the right fit. So that's my spiel.
I like that. Man, he was ready for that. Goodness.
That's good.
Wow.
I'm gonna come in with a different angle.
Ooh.
I don't think he would have kept them up anyway, but I don't think it was the right move to sack him.
Okay.
I think he's a talented manager. I think he's got, let's be honest, a poor squad. Literally the season before, they finished, here's the numbers, 3 points above the relegation, 3 points above Burnley. They haven't been good for a while now. And this is under Bielsa, who everybody raves about Bielsa, and I'm not saying he's not a great manager, but like if he's a great manager and they barely struggle to stay up, like I don't think it was super fair to kick Marsch off for having a tough time with Leeds. They have some talented players, but the squad overall isn't it, and it wasn't clicking. But that doesn't mean he couldn't have gone to that point. And even if he does get relegated, and like I said, I think he would have gone relegated no matter what, just because of the quality of the squad and how they were handling it. He's a quality manager, and I think you give him time in the championship, build that team, give him that time to really mesh his ideas in there. I think they come back up pretty soon, and maybe even better than before. And so I think they should have kept him and stuck with him. But instead, they fired him, which I think they're going to regret that. Hired someone like Big Sam, who still got them relegated, and then they got rid of Big Sam, and now they have to go get a whole new manager. Like it's just. I think they should have stuck with him whether he got relegated or not, which I think he would have. But
I love no one's mentioned the name Big Sam since he got hired. We just totally forgot. Like Leeds were on a downward trajectory. There's no point in talking about him.
Yeah,
I also realized too that when we cut up these videos, people are gonna not listen to the intro of the podcast, and they're just gonna see me and Diego in the same kit, and they might think we're bozos. I can't lie. They might think we're bozos.
Oh, also to interject, I fact checked my original statement of 292 days. I was indeed wrong by a lot. It's 300 and I forgot.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
343 days. I mean,
not even a year though.
Less than a year.
Yeah, less than a year.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'll give my opinion here, I guess. I think he would have kept them up. I mean, I'm more I guess in between everyone. But I think it would have kept him up. It was bad sacking to have done. I think Leeds ownership was faced a lot of pressure from both fans and pundits and whatnot to sack him. But I think he could have kept them up. That's what he did the year before. He's known for keeping teams up, which is like not the best pedigree to have as a manager, but also is really good. Um, Although I'm going to pivot this a little bit because I'm getting annoyed at this that a lot of people blame him for doing because he's American, as was the team. A lot of people got mad at him and the team for being American, and that was why, bless you, and that was why they didn't stay up, which is very unfortunate. I don't know if you saw Weston McKennie when at the last game when he got subbed off, the fans were chanting, "You fat, you fat bastard, you fat bastard." Like, come on, man.
Damn.
If you gave Jesse Marsch a couple more months and he would have kept you up, you guys wouldn't have been saying anything. But
Yeah.
but they're not giving essentially credit where credit is due and telling the ownership group that they're wrong instead of the players on the pitch for making that change. Go on, Jess.
I was just gonna say, just the fans being frustrated, and at that point when you're getting relegated, all like conscious, like normal thinking goes out the window, and blame just goes to everyone. And unfortunately, it was to the Americans. And it's very unfortunate, but I feel like in reality, once like Leeds fans calm down after being relegated, I think they'll come to the conclusion that their ownership is what led to their downfall. That has led to their downfall in the past few years, but specifically this year with their decision making. And it's really annoying with the ownership and getting pressed by the fans and pundits and all that stuff. Is like just stick with your guns, like don't like abandon ship. I know it's it's common just to abandon ship, but in football, especially in those high leagues. But I feel like it's just stick to your guns, and then if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But you don't know unless you don't try it, and they just abandoned ship, and then it didn't even work out at all. Probably ended up worse, if I'm being completely honest with you, because they had no hope in that last game.
Yeah,
then against Tottenham, they just got demolished instantly by Harry Kane. So. And then West Ham the week before that. And then Newcastle, they drew, which gave them a little bit of hope, but that was about it. But yeah, I feel like just stick to your guns. Future, the new Premier League clubs, Luton Town. Burnley.
We did this video too about what Luton needs to do to stay in. So if you guys want to watch that.
Yeah, Luton Town, Burnley. And then what's the other club? Sheffield? Sheffield. Just stick to your guns. Stick to your managers, I have high hopes for these new incoming teams. I feel like they'll do. Yeah. I think they'll do decent. I know it's a bit off topic, but I feel like they're a strong squad, all three of them. Yeah. So I feel like they'll stay up.
I'm looking forward to,
especially Burnley for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say literally Vincent Kompany. Yeah. That man, I'm excited for him. I want to see what he does with Burnley. He did destroy the championship. Let's see him get into the Prem. Let's see another Pep protege come in and just kill it like Arteta has been doing it. Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah,
just don't bottle anything, and I think they'll be fine.
At least to all of us, like since we've been watching Burnley are a Premier League club to us at least. Yeah. So to me, I feel like they deserve to be there. I know exactly, but especially like now, the championship was a very big shock to me. But of course, they killed it. I was sad for Sheffield too, because Sheffield, they haven't they were decent for one. They had one really good season. I remember, in like the past 4 or 5 years. I forget exactly when, but. I'm glad they're back, and then Luton, of course, we're all excited for Luton.
They look solid, though. They do look solid.
Luton or Sheffield?
Very, very collected side, but that's just my spiel. We talked about that. So
Luton,
brief on it, but solid team.